Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the map, Adaptive Sandy Valley. That is right. It is not a Neuroxis map generator, so hopefully those who enjoy these pre-configured maps will enjoy this cast in particular. Let's go ahead and start introducing our players, starting off with Team 1 here in the northwest corner of the map, ending with Team 2 in the southeast. And with 12 players to introduce, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit so we have enough time for early introductions and, of course, early action coverage. Starting up with the centralmost player on Team 1, it is Amon Ra going first lane as a UEF. He is in Light Oak Tan, and he is a 1900, the highest rated player on Team 1. To the southwest, we have the Aeon player of Khalif. The X is throwing me off. I think it's Khalif going first lane as a Pac-Man yellow coated Aeon. He is a 1000 rated player. To his east in Batman gray, we have Tolsteo for OK going first lane as another UEF here for his team. He is a 1300. And continuing on with the UEF pattern, we have the Chevy Crimson player of Ray's Blast going first land. He is a 1600. And on this upper plateau section, we have a Prima 96 going first land as a Seraphim in Royal Blue. He is a 1400. And in the regular slot here for Team 1 is RNA going first land as an UEF. He is in glow in the dark green at an 1800 rating. So for Team 1 side of things, they have 4 UEF, 1 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim, which means they do not have access to Cybern technology. Starting off with the centralmost player on Team 2 in Emerald Green, it is Luca going first land, second land as well. He is a 2000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. And again, he is in Emerald Green. In the east, we have Zafrika. Going first air as a Seraphim. He is a 1400 in Rust. And in Amethyst Purple, we have Liam going first land as an Aeon. Wonder if he's named after Liam Neeson or his actual name of Liam going first land. Again, in Amethyst Purple at 1100 rating. The other purple player on Team 2 in Regal Purple, it is Grand Deed going first land as another Seraphim hit for his team. He is a 1000 rated player. In the upper plateau in the south is the first Cybern to be introduced in this game. It is Bo Hokti going first land as a forest green coated player. He is a 1400 rating. And in the regular slot for Team 2, Lenkin going first land as a UEF. He is an 1800 rating in Imperial Gray. So for Team 2 side of things, they have all of the races represented with a dual major in Seraphim technology and UEF technology. Team 1 is the only team missing out on that Cybern technology. Let's go ahead and look at the reclaim here before our players scoop it up. And for 12 players, roughly about 25,000 reclaim, which means on average about 2,000 per player. That is a decent amount for some upgrades and T1 facilities for these players to scoop up. And in terms of mass points, I mean, this is probably one of the most sparse mass point maps I have ever seen. It's an actual named map, so Sandy Valley Adaptive. That is not a lot of mass points. You have no dual mexes, trimexes, any sort of thing. Maybe you can kind of say this is a dual mex, but one is on an upper plateau and one is on a lower section, so not really. I don't really see any sort of really high concentrated amount of mass points. So our players will probably more focused on mass fabs and gating in some SACUs for some RAS-COM support. Let's turn this game up back to 0 and see how our players are moving around. Team 1's players, Khalif, started speed for his gun upgrades, canceled the speed, went for range first. Which, I mean, that far back on Team 1's front line, he should be perfectly fine without really any issues. The range on his commander would be able to cover pretty much anything that would come into range, so I don't know why he would switch that up. But then he's still going for that range upgrade, so interesting to see how he goes with that. Bunch of T1 spam scouts outbound from Team 2's Grand D, trying to go after T1 engineers, trying to, again, build those mechs very, very quickly here. In the middle of the map, we have Amon-Ra posting up, going for an upgrade. I'm assuming it's gun, just due to the fact that I think it's his left. No, it's his right arm, so that's definitely his gun. Yeah, it's going for that Zeph amp. And in the southeast, we did have a gun upgrade going down here for Luker. I don't like the fact that the names, not the names, the little, not titles, but what would you call those? Just like notification, like it's in white letters saying, hey, this is the upgrade and this is the percentage it's at, disappears for some reason. Don't know why it does that. It does it for some reason, but I don't know how to fix it. Usually it's when I kind of notice it when I go into somebody's view, it disappears. No idea, but that's okay because stuff does happen. Of course, in the north, we have Prima 96 going for that gun upgrade in the north on an upper plateau. He's going to be perfectly fine. And again, Team 1 and 2 kind of taking this a little slow. There are some comms for Team 2 and Team 1, of course, moving, kind of fanning out a little bit, but it's a lot slower than it normally is. This is a 10 by 10, so it's not a super big map. And with 12 players, actually, not 10, but 12 players, it's not a lot of room to kind of, move around. It's like you're sitting on a plane, you have you're in economy, and you're just like kind of packed like sardines. That's kind of what's happening here for these two teams. So we expect to see a lot of comm-on-comm action just due to the fact that, you walk 10 feet out of your base and there's the enemy units kind of thing. We do see movement here from the west for Bo Hanak moving to secure that southwestern corner. We do see Khalif moving at least move in that direction at a minimum. We see Tolsty going for his gun upgrade as well. Does have T1 PD next to him to protect himself and his investment in that commander upgrade. We also see Zafrika on this eastern side. So the border players for Team 2, being the eastern border and the western border, are really fanning out here. The central side of things, there are 3 comms kind of in that direction. We do see one player from RNA moving into assist as well, but Amon-Ra is facing off against Luka, and it's the first comm-on-comm action here at 5 minutes in this game. We can see more comms coming in to intercept it for Team 2, and it does look like Team 2 will secure the middle of the map here for themselves. Does claim 1 Mechs, and in this game, Mechs now are just a hot commodity. You need them all the time. 1 Mechs can make the difference, and it does look like Amon-Ra is just going to push it once again. There are a couple of Zuis inbound here to the west. Amon-Ra will go for those, get some nice veterancy on that commander. Won't get to 1 star, but at least we'll be able to force them back a little bit. RNA is coming into an intercept with some engineers outbound from Amon-Ra. And RNA goes, nope, not doing that. not engaging the comm of Luker. And Amon-Ra is falling slightly above 50% of his hit points. And we do see Luker at 8,000, so below 2/3 of his hit points. Gun damage and range going down the way for Rays in the north. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Safrika try to push him off, but it's just Safrika by himself. And Safrika actually starting to be pincered, or at least surrounded a little bit on this eastern side by Team 1's Prima. Prima moving in, of course, with that gun upgrade on board. Team 2's Lenkin, the air player, is very actually far forward. And we do see Team 1's Tulsi coming in to intercept those other units outbound from the purple players on Team 2. And I do appreciate the fact that the purple players are on Team 2, the green players are on Team 2. There's no really intermixing of colors. There's not a red player on Team 1 and a red player on Team 2, so it's easier to keep track of who's who. The yellow players are on Team 1 kind of thing. Well, yellowish green, golden dark green kind of thing. I do appreciate that, so appreciate whoever. It's not necessarily forced, but it's just nice to be able to look at the map and be like, oh yeah, Team 1's over here, Team 2's over here. The only mixture is Imperial Gray and Batman Gray, but those are very easy to tell the difference. One's dark gray and one's light gray. So again, just want to shout out to the players for, if it was on purpose, that's awesome. I appreciate it. If it wasn't on purpose, still I appreciate it. In the northeast, we have Liam trying to force some forward momentum out of himself and his his units, but he's being shot back by Rays. And Prima coming after Safrika on this eastern side. Safrika does not have a gun upgrade. Prima does. Rays has a gun upgrade. Liam does not. So the comms on Team 1 side of things both have gun upgrades. We'll force these units and comms back here. And nano upgrade going on here for Luka. He's fine for now, but I can see that being kind of deadly as time goes on if he doesn't get some hit point regen on that commander. Gun going down here for Grenadier. We do see Tolstey just kind of being by himself, which isn't the best idea to do. It's not Strat Bomber or Gunship Rush yet, but there is the danger of he's easily by himself. It's a really easy target. Swarm him, kill him off, that sort of thing. And in the east, Afrika actually being cut off from reinforcements and retreating. We do see Team 2's Liam being pushed back heavily back to his main base. Couple of units actually from Prima coming and take out a T1 Mechs. And we do see Rays coming in to try to, again, intercept the comm of Sofrika, assisting his teammate of Prima, pushing him back. And it's not going to go well here. Sofrika doesn't have a gun upgrade. Prima actually getting kind of stuck on that environment. T2 Nathas and a gunship inbound here to assist with retreating efforts. But Sofrika is surrounded now. We do see a T2 PD, and those units actually not going to stop and take out the comm, but go straight for the base here against Afrika. This is not looking good here for Team 2 on this eastern side. And T1 PD has been built. We'll take out a couple of units, but with the amount of firepower coming off those strikers, it doesn't really matter. T2 is online, but don't know if that's going to matter as well. T2 air facility is under threat here. Team 2 needs to get some assistance on this eastern side, or that player is going to lose everything they hold dear in the middle of the map. Luca going after Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra trying to build some triads, but Luca says no. No PD for you. No. And those parashields are starting to fail, but one of them does get taken out, and does look like Amon-Ra will be forced to retreat due to the fact that he's now currently being swarmed. And Prima has retreated, but Team 1's Rays is going to go for the kill. So Frika is below 45% of his hit points in the red, and his base has been blown to smithereens. T2 air facility is knocked out, as still has a couple of TU mechs online, but there he goes. He is killed off by Rays, and Rays has to get out of there. But he is also dead. Liam at 9,000 hit points, and Team 1's Rays gets the first kill of the game at 10 minutes in this game. In the middle, how's it going? Team 2 is exerting more of their power over the map. Team 1's comms trying to hold them out. Both RNA and Tolstey trying to do their best. RNA doesn't have any upgrades. Probably should change that up and get at least one gun upgrade on board that commander. And in the east, we'll go back to Rays. And Rays is going to be able to get out of this. Does have reinforcements coming in from Prima from the north. And Team 2 is now bleeding on this eastern side. They need to fix this, or it's not going to go well here pretty soon. Team 1 is starting to hold these units and comms back, but I mean, there's multiple comms here trying to hold them back, and it's really tying the hands of Team 1. On the southwestern side, it's not really going well for either team. There's not really one player, having domination of that corner of the map. You could probably argue that Bo has a little bit more of a handle on things, but he should be. Team 1's Khalif should be fine. He has gun, speed, and range. Speed/range, and he's going for advanced range as we speak. Team 1's Calm of Tolstey trying to cover for his teammate of Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra dropping below 2,000 hit points. Does have Nano on board, so he'll be able to get out of dodge and be safe. But Team 1's Ray is just going to push into Team 2's Liam. We even see Lincoln coming in to assist. And Forces just running into that base. They don't care. This entire eastern side for Team 2 is falling apart. Multiple facilities are going down. Rays is still online, almost at 3-star veterancy here. He probably should get out of dodge here soon, or he's going to be swarmed. T3 air is established here for Team 2's Lincoln. Does Team 1 have a similar situation? Yes, they do. So both teams have T3 air technology at 11.5 minutes in this game. Fight going down here in the southwest between Bo and his forces versus the Aurora. Aurora have the better range, of course, and Bo does not have a gun upgrade, so we can't attack them at range as well. So the advantage does go to Team 1 for now. That can always change. A small squad of some pillars and a shield is outbound here for Team 2's western side. All of the units from Team 2's Bo are moving in to intercept those as well. I think we're starting to notice that Team 2's Luker and Grandide, and I think Lincoln already fell back. But the central players are starting to fall back a little bit just due to the fact that Team 1 has the entire northern section of the map underneath their control, and Rays gains everything that Prima owned. Is Prima going to control K? Does he have to go? No, he didn't lose connection because we didn't see the departure messages yet. Well, departure being control K. And those pillars are being overwhelmed by T1 Mantis, but they are holding strong. They're retreating, but only lost one of their teammates, and they're now grouping up with more of them, so it's going to be a lot harder to chew through those tanks. Green, give the east base or use it. Oh, talking about Sofrika. I don't know. Oh, just talking about if he's not going to use it, then give it over kind of thing. And Team 1's Rays will gain control of everything that Prima own except for a ISL and a T1 Mechs. Don't know. Oh, maybe he just had to go somewhere. And he does have one T2 Pigeon as well, so he just had to go to the bathroom or something and wanted to give over units and energy and mass and whatnot to his teammate to use more effectively. Because essentially if he was not doing anything, that's all that mass, all that energy, all the everything just going to sit there and not do anything. Luca running around here, going into the east again, kind of shifting in that direction to try to intercept units, but he's by himself with a T2 engineer. It's a Sparky, so a little bit combat capable, but T1 units, there's a huge line of T1 units as well as T2 units for Rays. T3 ASF just getting ripped to shreds by that flak, and it's still alive, but just barely at 345 hit points left. Shield going on the way here for Khalif in the west. And Team 2, even if they claim the southwestern corner, will not be able to punch through this little alleyway unless they get rid of that comm. So Team 2 is going to have an uphill battle, and Strap Bombers are online here for Lenkin. Lenkin, I think he's going after Tolsty. Tolsty's trying to go underneath a shield coverage here, needs to walk back to his main base. Team 1, again, having to be aggressive, and it has worked so far with their commanders, but it's slowly not starting to work just due to the fact that T2 units being the main stream here. And of course the Strap Bomber over top also helps. Pings do go down, alerting that Team 2 is inbound. Strap Bomber going after that T2 Mechs. There it goes, takes out that. And the interceptors here for Team 1 aren't enough to hold off that bomber. No, bomber looks like it's going to go after some blood here. Maybe go after another T2 Mechs. It's underneath a couple parashields. It's just kind of just spinning its wheels over here, not really going after one thing or the other. But has now locked on its next target. T2 Mass Extractor is going to go down. And actually, no, it's going to drop and go for this one. Could have gotten some engineers in that one, but I guess not. And ASF's doing a very good job of shielding that bomber. And, oh, well, maybe it was shot down, question mark, because I don't see it anymore. Yep, I guess it was shot down off screen. Nano on the way here for Grand Deed. He was going for something else and then switched up for that. I think he was going for missile. He's going for missile launcher and then switched it up to Nano. But Luker engages the forces in the north here against Rays. Rays is trying to force him back once again. T2 Blazes coming in to assist from Liam. And Luker is about to get another rank in veterancy here. 3-star veterancy versus 4-star veterancy, essentially. But Luker is receiving a lot of firepower from his opponent of Rays. Rays doesn't have Nano on board, but looks Prima is actually back in the fight. Looks like he has been given control of his units once again. Luker has done a great job in holding off this attack here from Rays, and now Rays is all by himself. Prima as well. Well, he's not all by himself, but he doesn't have any units with him. Prima moving in to try to intercept that comm of Luker, but it looks like he will retreat to the north, and missiles are raining in. Team 2 is getting a ton of ground on this eastern side, and now it looks like Luker has caught up with Rays, and Rays is just receiving fire after fire. Percy also with him, and Rays is going to fall below 25% hit points. The Percy misses his shot, will keep him alive for a little bit longer, overcharges into the back, and there he goes! And that is a kill here for Team 2 at 16 minutes in this game. It's now a 5v5. Amon-Ra coming in to intercept, but this is a lot of T2 units here. And with Luker's comm, this might be a double kill here for Luker. Amon-Ra suffering a lot of hit points very, very quickly here. Percy coming in, takes out that parashield, but could have actually taken out at least a lot of hit points on that comm. We do see Prima moving in from the north to try to at least assist with dealing with this push. And Amon-Ra is suffering a lot of hit points very, very quickly. There is a triad on board, but there's another Percy coming in from the south and another Percy right next to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra, there he goes. He is taken out by Luker as well. It is now a 5v4 in favor of Team 2. It was a 6v5 here shortly, or just a couple of minutes ago. And I don't think anybody on Team 1 has really way to fight this. Everything transferred over to Team 1's RNA. And it's quiet now on that eastern front. Percy's are charging forward, taking out T2 Mexes. And that, again, is the downside with having a small amount of map to play with this amount of players, is that a lot of players die, especially before 20 minutes. And stuff like that happens where a double kill is a lot easier because, you know, comms don't have a lot of water or whatever the case may be to hide in. And Team 1's Tolsty is under a shield trying to get his not T2, but his nano repair upgrade online. Is at 64% and is facing down a nice little army here for Grandide. Grandide has nano and gun on board as well. There are a decent amount of pillars in this mix, and it does look like the upgrade will finish off, and that will upgrade a lot of hit points for him. Bomber over the top definitely does not help the situation, but 62 hit points is a lot better than what he had earlier. But Grandide trying to force back Tolsty back. T2 pillars doing a great job of taking out all those units. There's only actually no Ilshis left. Bomber over the top once again here for Team 2, and I think 2 bombs might be it to take out that commander. I think it's 2. Grandide now facing a lot of firepower from those pillars, and Tolsty needs to start retreating. There it goes. Bomb is away. Oh, misses him by a little bit. I mean, it doesn't hit him exactly, but that bomber is taken out by Team 1's ASFs. They'll be taken out by Team 2's ASFs, but the bomber has been killed, which is the most important part. Is there another bomber being built? No, there's not going to be another bomber built. Looking at that build order, Team 2's now Grandide facing down a decent amount of Aurora, but looks like he's gained a lot of ground here and has taken out a lot of forces here. Forced back another player of Team 1. Team 2's Luca in the middle of the map, just kind of hanging out. Triads trying to do what they can to force those Percys and units back, but I don't know if it's going to really matter. Team 1 needs more big ticket items. They need an experimental or something. And at 20 minutes in this game, it's looking like Team 2 is going to take the game home. Even though they took the first death in the game, they've come back with a vengeance. They pushed back 1 player on the western side, killed 2 players on the east and middle side, and now it is a 5v4 in favor of Team 2. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Again, I do apologize from the lack of quality for my videos a couple of days ago. Hopefully I fixed it with this video. Again, thank you so very much for being patient with me, and I really, really do appreciate the subscription and the likes and all of that. So thank you so very much. We do see Tolsty coming in to, again, try to assist this front line that was once belonged to Amon-Ra, and T3 facility trying to pump out as many Percys as it can. The headquarters is on the front line, so Team 1 has to be very careful with that. I mean, they could easily build another one back here, which they might want to do just to have it back there, because this is, you know, like I said, on that front line. And Team 2 very easily can just sit back and relax, eco up, build up a nice air grid, that sort of thing, or go for early nuke or whatever, earlier nuke, and whatever the case may be. I don't see any sort of those kind of plans. In terms of mass, currently still being consumed by both teams. Team 1 at 475, Team 2 at 485. So even with the deaths and the lack of map control here for Team 1 barely behind Team 2, and they're actually keeping on pace or a little bit behind. So they're doing a very good job. Lincoln going for Ras as we speak to, again, assist with ecoing up, and Ras going on the way here for RNA as well. Let's see. The middle of the map here is still owned by Luca. A couple of missile launchers, couple being 1. Actually, no, 2 of them are online, going to force back those Percys outbound from Team 2's Luker. And it does look like Liam has been able to build back once again. Team 1 still owns the northeast corner of the map, and there's a couple of triads that were built, but those aren't going to last very long against some Othams. Now the entire eastern side is devoid of, well, anything. There's a couple of units up here, but a lot of the Mexes were taken out. In the southwest, Team 2 owns it for sure, and Team 1's Khalif is being forced back by some loyalists and some rhinos here. Overcharge takes out most of those hit points. PD open fire, and I think Khalif will be fine. We'll lose a PD or 2, but I mean, this attack definitely will peter out very, very quickly, especially with some Harbingers coming in to assist. And Team 1's Tolsty trying to hold off this attack once again, outbound from Grandide. Engineers on station reclaim as much as they can. In terms of reclaim, Team 2 in the lead by almost 10,000 reclaim, which is about a little under half a chicken. Sorry, half a monkey, not half a chicken. And Percy's trying to be used for defensive measures while Percy's come and attack. It's just Percy's versus Percy's here. T3AA Cougars are online, taking out some spy planes flying over the top. Team 1 needs more offensive capabilities for the ground side of things. And it does look like those Perseus are going after the Perseus here for Team 1. And the firepower is with Team 2. And it's just kind of hanging out, watching the paint dry kind of thing. Just, okay, you fire, and then you fire. It's like I'm watching the old like Revolutionary War, French Revolution, that sort of things, where just soldiers line up, fire at one another, reload, fire at one another, that sort of thing. In the east, it does look like Team 1's trying to exert their pressure a little bit more. And Team 2's Luker's still pressing with a couple of units. Isn't sending that much, but is winning the ground game, though. There's, again, not really a lot on that front line. Team 1 needs to consolidate their forces and defenses. We do see Tolsty coming in to intercept from the southwest, but that T3 land headquarters will go down. Percy gets almost wiped out in one shot by that overcharge, but yeah, there goes that facility. Like I said, Team 1 probably needed a backup. This one will be upgraded immediately after that one does get taken out, and the Perseus have done their mission and will exfil out of there. Tolsty probably could have gotten after a couple more, but doesn't want to risk it and be taken out as well. See, in the southeast, air grid being nice and fleshed out. Not really super expanding. Again, there's not a lot of mass on this map, and it will take a while to really get to that point where we see just a giant air grid. Just another facility. Looks like it was reclaimed earlier on, or at least just control-K'd earlier on. Team 2 holding back, getting a nice little fire base with some wall sections. Prevent incoming incursions. Team 2's Luker just constantly pressuring, wanting to hold the center of the map, and Percy's just outnumbering the Perseus here for Team 1. Reclaiming efforts are underway to scoop everything back up, but they get the mass and Team 2 does not. Perseus are given the charge to go forth once again, and it does look like it's going to be a fight. Oh no, Tolsty's not going to come and assist, which will give the advantage to Team 2. More, like I said, more and more Perseus are coming onto that front line. T2 coming on the way here for Luker. And he will eventually probably go for T3 as well. We do see in the northwest, air grid is bigger here for Team 1. So he'll be able to punch out more ASFs and facilities. He also has dual base, so that obviously helps with that. ASFs definitely should not sit on the ground because there are Perseus inbound. And T2 engineers are on station to scoop up reclaim here for Grandide, and maybe even establish some shields and some PD to secure the middle of the map. Team 1 is gaining a nice army here in the east, and there's really not a lot Team 2 can do about that. There's a couple of PD that's going to be built, but that army, it looks like it is inbound. It's moving in slowly but surely. Team 2 needs to be aware of that, or it's not going to feel good. This eastern flank is definitely the weak point here for Team 2. Team 1's weak point is actually the middle of the map. They're being constantly pushed back. Luker's forces are just too great for Team 1 to handle, at least at the current moment. More Perseus, more everything needs to be built. Shields being spammed up as quickly as they can be in terms of those parashields to assist with defensive measures against the firepower outbound from the Perseus. But it's just not going well. And the Othams have breached the front line here, going after those Harbingers. There they go, ripping through whatever's online. Lightning tanks doing what they can to lightning whatever Perseus is in their way. Taking out whatever facilities they can hit. That's the benefit of the lightning tanks. They can target ground units. They're more effective against air targets, but again, some damage is better than none. Let's see an odd Ilshi in there. Nice line of tanks moving down. T3 Pigeon gonna get taken out. We'll probably take out that Percy once it walks. Oh, don't move that close. Don't move that close to that Pigeon. That's gonna not feel great. Oh, there it goes. Takes out 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks in that engagement. That explosion, that's gotta hurt. Team 1 is barreling down Team 2's frontline player of Luker. T2 Triads have been spammed up to defend, but those Othams are tanky. I mean, they are tanks to be fair, but they are tanky nonetheless. Ilshi's moving in to assist as well. And those Pigeons are going to be the main target here. ASF over top protecting the investment here for Team 2. Team 1 getting a nice little view of what's going on from a different angle. Percy's going after those tanks as fast as they can. All of the units on the front line have retreated, and Team 1 has gained a ton of ground. The Percy's targeting the T3 land headquarters. I don't know if they'll get it or not. It's below... it's barely below 50% of its hit points. But Team 2's Liam takes the brunt of the attack once again. And not really a lot of lasting damage here against Team 2's Luker. He looks like he's going to be fine. We'll reclaim everything that's over here. And it does look like Team 1 doesn't really get as much work as they really wanted out of it. But Team 2's outlying mechs are going to be taken out. 2 T3 mechs is fully ringed. That's 54 mass a second just gone from Team 2's coffers. Team 2 is leading the mass generated game by over 100, almost 200 mass. But Team 1 really needs to target the mass assassination options. A decent amount of transport's been built. Don't know if they're fair. I don't know what they're doing over here, but they're doing something. Kind of remind me of the spirits from the Halo universe. The transport you see in Halo 1. And then I think they brought it back for Halo. They brought it back for Halo Wars, because that actually takes place before Halo 1. And then I think it came back for Reach, which is roughly the same time Halo 1 happened. Actually, just slightly before. And then I don't think they come back in 3 or 2. I think they're brought back in. They come back in 4, for sure. We do see in the west transporting those Ilshis on top of those I think they're Ilshis, right? No, they're T2 missile launchers. 2 of those transports are shot down. 3 of them, actually. Team 1 has a nice Air Force going on for them. And those missile launchers will not get a lot of work done, unfortunately, there for them. And a bomber over the top will see to that as well. Team 2's Luke are going for shield on board. That commander has RAS and T2. So it is kind of chunky. 40,000 hit points on board that commander. Gonna indeed at 43,000 hit points and 238 hit points a second. Tactical missile coming online. Toasty might go for Billy Nuke, and definitely if he goes for Billy Nuke, that'll be huge here for Team 1, because that is that it's a small map, so you can hit a lot of stuff with that missile launcher. Will he go for it? No, he will not go for it, at least at the current moment. Team 1, do you have any plans to end the game? It's closing in on that 30-minute mark. We have a Colossus being built here by Team 1's Khalif. We have Chicken being built here by Prima. Prima is building up another land army to engage here soon. And that is it. Team 2 is building a Fat Boy. That's almost half done, a little over half done. And I don't see much of anything else here on the southern edge. Team 2's air grid in the southeast getting nice and plump. Nice amount of T1 energy storages. That's a huge target. Just a volatile mess down there. And that is it. So Team 2's Luker, the only one building an experimental. Team 1 having 2 players. The edge players, the northeastern and the southwestern players, building those experimentals that would definitely crack a lot of the defenses here for Team 2. Percy's lining up here between the middle of the map and Luker's main base. He's very cautious of another attack, especially on this eastern side. Lincoln building some Ravagers to, again, defend on that eastern side. Team 2, again, maybe they've noticed by now, but that eastern side's definitely the weaker side. They needed to put a lot. Either they let it fall, which is probably what they don't want, or they build a lot of defenses on this eastern side. And I feel like that's probably the better bet, especially due to the fact that Luker is in the middle, and if this eastern side falls, he is the first thing that's going to get hit. So Team 2 has to be very careful with that. T1 PD was built, tried to go after that T3 mechs, didn't really succeed, but at least it was annoying at the minimum. Spearheads on that front line, puncturing this front line, and it does look like the order has been given to attack. Missiles are inbound, will miss their targets, and those spearheads will retreat. There is a nice amount of Perseus, though, for Team 1, though. It might be enough to hold off Team 2's Perseus. I don't know if they're going to give the full... No, not going to give the full order to go in, but they are going to at least move in slightly. Team 1, how's it looking? Team 2 is actually being invaded by some green units outbound from a bow. Cybran's looking over the edge, going after that T2 max, and they're actually able to climb that. Well, I guess there is a somewhat of a ramp to go up and down. And Team 1 is being hemmed in this corner, but the Colossus is done. How's the chicken going? The chicken is done. I wanted to watch it be completed, and the Fat Boy is done. So Team 1 has 2 experimentals on the field. Team 2 has 1. And again, in a map 10 by 10 this size with 12 players in total, that is a ton of... not a lot of room for error, not a ton of room, but lots of close quarters combat here. Missile launchers being annihilated by that artillery fire. Percy's taking the brunt of it, but we'll be fine with that because they're going to save their Fat Boy older brother. SMD being built in the middle of Team 1's front line to defend against any sort of nukes, but there is a Fat Boy online for Team 1. Didn't notice that being built. That must have been either built somewhere else that I didn't notice or built very quickly. Team 2's Fat Boy trying to force back those units. Is doing a good job of it, but isn't doing a lot of kills. It's just going after the missile launches, which is very annoying for Team 1, but it's not a huge issue. Tactical Nuke is started here for Team 1's... actually, that's Lincoln, not for Tolsteins. We're in Lincoln. Where is he? Oh, he's over here. The Nuke, the tactical missile launcher on board that commander is going to be upgraded to a tactical nuke launcher. And now the Colossus is on that front line pushing forward. Team 2 needs defenses. The comm of Grandide is pinged saying, hey, there's stuff going on here. Chicken in the north moving in, and it looks like it's going to be a pincering attack on all sides. One from the west, one from the north, and one from the east. Team 2 has a lot of work cut for them. Cut out for them. There we go. 4 defensive measures. And Luker hanging out. Again, Team 2's Grandide does have a lot of hit points on board that commander, but, you know, nothing can survive a Colossus laser for long. And it does look like Lincoln has finished that nuke launcher, the tactical one, the backpack, the Billy Nuke. Team 1's Chicken is not going for it. You would think that they'd go for it. The Fat Boy's pushing this way. You could easily try to pincer the Fat Boy going this way. It does look like orders have been given to attack. Attack from the north as well, outbound from Team 1's Tolstey. Why are his forces over there? They should be over here. That's weird. And now that Fat Boy pushing against Grandide. Grandide going to drop off more Othams for support. Could easily drop off his commander as well with that transport. And a lot of Team 1 spam being used to annoy that Colossus. And the Colossus not really caring for it, going after the PD and then going to go after all the units after that. Fat Boy raining in, solidifying that destruction. Air Force is moving in to protect their strap bombers that are inbound. Team 1, they're moving in as well to protect that Colossus. Billy Nuke is inbound here to the middle of the map. That's going to hurt. Take out a couple of units at a minimum. There are a lot of parashields in there, so they'll shake off some of the damage, but there was good timing here from Team 2's Lincoln. Oh, there it goes. Oh, takes out some of the shields. But most of those Percys are fine. Colossus moving in. Will take... Oh, does not take out the comm of Grandide. Grandide was barely alive. Sub 5,000 hit points. I was surprised by that. He did not die, but Monkey coming in to assist from Team 2 Cyber player of Bohanok Hoktoi? Hokta. Where's the Hoktoi? Where's his comm? I don't know where his comm is. Anyway. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Anyway. The Colossus is down. The Monkylord is hanging out down there. Looks like it's going to avoid the mess of Percy's here. Second, Billy Nuke is outbound. And with 2 Fat Boys on Team 2's front line, that's going to deter a lot of incoming annoyingness. Team 1's pretty much did not engage with that chicken. And Billy Nuke impacting on top of that Fat Boy. That's definitely not going to feel good. Where is that comm of Team 2's Cyber player? Where'd it go? I don't... Unless it's just like there and I don't see it, which is entirely possible. I don't... Oh, he's right here. He's down here. He is Bohanok Hakti. That's close. Anyway, Grandide makes it out of there. Back up into the yellow. Man, 250 hit points a second is a ton of hit points to regen. Billy Nuke's landing once again. Going to kill off a lot of these Percys here. Lots of transports just kind of hanging out, being killed off by the ASF from Team 1. Don't know where they were going with that. Team 1 building another Colossus. Almost done with that. Satellite going to be built, and then Fat Boys after that. Team 1 has separated out their air grid. And in the east, the chicken is online. Still hanging out there. Those look like a couple of Team 1 engineers being sniped by those sniper bots. And with 1 Fat Boy versus 2, that 2 Fat Boys will wreck that Fat Boy of Team 1. P2 artillery being used to deter any sort of incoming pressure here from Team 1's forces. Team 2, you planning anything interesting? Mass Fat Farm. Bunch of engineering down there. Not engineering, sorry. E-storage down there. 35 minutes in this game so far. Billy Nuke is inbound. And that's not going to feel good here pretty soon. There it is. Fat Boy does still have a lot of shields on board. Most of the shields have been taken out. Fat Boy does get 1 veterancy. And the Fat Boy for Team 2, both of them have been taken out. But if some of the fences are down, Fat Boy for Team 1 held on long enough to assist those Percys with moving in and intercepting those Fat Boys. And Percys and Percys both on sides just shooting at one another, taking out all the hit points and rendering their chassis inoperable. Fat Boy pressuring Team 2's front line once again. The chicken needs to move in and assist. The second chicken is inbound. It needs to move in now. Nuke is inbound. Will kill off that Fat Boy. Almost perfectly placed. If Team 1 moves it a little bit back, it might make it out of dodge. But the Nuke is inbound. And there it goes. Kills off the Fat Boy here for Team 1. And the Percys getting some assistance from those Harbingers from Team 2's Aeon player of Liam. And those Percys and Harbingers will force back the Percys here from Team 1. A lot of action here in the middle of the map. There is a nice, probably little edge move going on here on the eastern side. They're wanting to avoid this giant mess down here. Decent amount of the 2 shields. Definitely needs more shields. Lots of PD, T3 Ravagers as well. Some artillery, some Serenities. Prima going to try to outmaneuver them by going on this eastern end. There's only a couple of PD, and after that, that's it. Again, Team 2 very vulnerable on this eastern side. And Team 2 pushing back against Team 1. One Monkylord is down. Second one raining down some raining up some plasma while the Galactic Colossus rains down plasma. That's definitely not the best environment to be in for that Monkylord. The Monkylord is killed off. And those bricks will finish off that that Colossus as well. There he goes. Oh, no. Oh, get some veterancy. Got some more hit points. Fat Boy coming in to assist as well. And that western side will be saved. Very close. And that's a lot of mass for Team 1 to scoop up as well. Team 2 re-pushing the middle of the map. Looks like another Fat Boy was taken out here for Team 1. And in the east, that attack is inbound. Chicken moving in. Nuke coming in to try to slow this down, but it's not being slowed down. Chicken needs to keep moving. Everything needs to be sent. Team 2 diverting all resources to this move on the on the east. T2 PD are being built for defensive measures, and Bo Hanakakti does control K? Question, hold on. What? Why did you... Nuke does land. He's right here. Maybe, I don't know what happened with him, but he will control K. Dropping this game back to a 4v4 even. Nuke does land, taking a decent amount of hit points and some units. But the chickens are inbound, and they are not stopping anytime soon. There are some Harbingers moving in. One by one isn't really the best way to engage, especially with grouping up with the AoE cannons on board those chickens. And Luker builds an experimental, probably another Fat Boy. I would imagine Nuke is landing soon. Team 2's Lincoln really pumping those out. Not Fat Boys. The chickens need to keep moving if they want to do lasting damage to Team 2. Oh, that's going to hurt. More hit points are gone. You got to move him in. There goes the order to move. Going after Liam now. Liam is not moving out of the way. He will die here, unfortunately, here for Liam. Doesn't have a lot of hit points on board that commander. And there he goes. Team 1 gets another scalper. It is by Prima. It is a 4v3 in favor of Team 1. Chickens look like they're moving into the air grid down southeast. Team 2 not looking good now. Just that eastern side I mentioned earlier was definitely a weak point. The lightning tank staying back, so they're not in the main engagement. And the amount of chickens moving in, the Fat Boy, the Monkylord coming in to assist, will be able to distract those chickens a little bit. Laser over the top, definitely not helping the situation out for Team 2. But all the chicken has to do is get into the main base of that air grid, and it is DOA. The second chicken moving in to assist its brethren, but the Monkylord's still online. The chicken realizing the best way to contribute is to just die on top of it. The chicken getting to some nasty little environment shenanigans, and he will also be killed off. So some of the air grid does go down. Most of it does survive, however, but the Monkylord now will die off to the Ion Storm. There it goes. And the satellite over top will deal a lot of damage to that air grid as well. Team 2 has a crab online, as well as another monkey and another chicken. Huge hole in Team 2's side of the map. Team 1 has a lot more momentum going in that direction. Nuke's constantly landing around Lincoln at 55,000 mass and growing. Team 1, what are you doing? Building a T3 artillery right now. That's going to be huge for them. Let's see. In the west, another artillery being built. Colossus finishes off another Fat Boy. Team 1 pumping stuff out now. Team 1 now at 1.4k mass versus Team 2's 900. They are almost 1.5 times in the eco of Team 2. That is huge for producing anything and everything they need. The air grid is not bad. It's not great. The mass fab will definitely blow up. That's not going to feel good. There it goes. Oh, looks like it was reclaimed at the last second. Good job from those rover drones to grab that. But Fat Boy moving in to the east and to the west. Monkylord trying to push in. Does end up killing off a Colossus eventually. But T1 bomber support comes in and rains fire down from the heavens. Crab being used for, again, defensive measures. Team 2 is being hemmed in. Now the western side not really looking good here for Team 2. And the Colossus is online here for Team 2 as well, taking out some Percys. And Billy Nuke going to come and take out a huge section of that front line as well. Team 1's Toasty building his own tactical Billy Nuke on board that commander. But with one satellite, one artillery, another one on the way, it's not really looking good here for Team 2. Billy Nuke takes out most of those units. Fat Boy getting some free damage on that Colossus, though. Team 2's Luker just hanging out down here. Not under shield coverage, just kind of just hanging out, doing whatever he wants to do. And this satellite overhead, trying to take out the emitter is definitely the best way to do that. Artillery coming in to assist. And I feel like with the construction of a second artillery for Team 1, it is not looking good here for Team 2. Team 2 was winning for a decent amount of the game. Colossus going to barrel on down, try to go after those Fat Boys, but Percys are just too much for them. Broadswords inbound. ASFs fight over the top of Team 1's front line. Team 1 will gain air control. Some of the ASFs will divert from the main group to go after the broadswords, giving a little bit of time for Team 2's air forces to engage, but that was only a distractionary method, not really a whole lot of things to gain in that regard. More ASFs did die, to be fair, but Billy Nuke lands on Team 2's base. That's gotta hurt. And actually, no, that's not a Billy Nuke. That is a Control K, not a Billy Nuke. No, I would have probably killed off the T3 pigeons, to be fair. And now it is a 4v2 in favor of Team 1. Crab in the west being taken out by Chicken. Actually, that's Team 2's Chicken, but Fat Boy Fire and Colossus Fire now. There it goes. Chicken in the middle of the map. It's going to be killed here pretty soon by Percys. That's not going to feel good. I don't know what happened to Team 1, but man, their eco really skyrocketed, and Team 2 is just slowly being depleted, of course, due to the artillery everywhere. Air grid is down here for Team 2. That's why he Control K'd. And that is not looking good here for Team 1. I did not think Team 1 would win this game. It looked like Team 2 was severely in the lead, but something switched, and Team 1 just gained a huge advantage. Another Monkylord down there in the west. And Team 2's Luker sees the writing on the wall. He will Control K. He was actually being lasered, I think, at the current moment. So there's that. And now the last one player left here on Team 2 is Grandide. And transfer of control. There it goes. It just took a second. I think at this point we can just speed this up a little bit. 42 minutes in this game. We have a Colossus in the east is being shot at by some sniper bots and not Colossus, but Fat Boy Fire. Another Fat Boy coming in to assist as well. And that is not looking good here for Team 2. As I mentioned earlier, artillery raining in. Did the emissary get finished off? No, it didn't. And at this point, it doesn't really need to be. Second artillery actually almost done here for Team 1's Prima. Team 2 kind of realistically just avoided and ignored the northeast corner once the death of Zufrika happened. That was kind of just ignored. Team 1's Prima was able to build up enough and attack this eastern corner that broke a little bit of Team 2's cohesion, and then Team 1 came in and just shoved it down their throats. We have Janus over the top going after Grandide's commander. Again, 50,000 hit points, 250 regen on board that commander. He is not giving up. He's not going to Control K. He's going to be killed off. Colossus moving in to go after those Fat Boys. Will not get anywhere. 5 Fat Boys online here. And a Crab moving in to intercept any sort of nonsense that will befall his commander. Artillery now raining in on the Team 2's old Bohanakati's base. And there goes the Crab receiving a lot of fire from those Fat Boys. Artillery fire still raining in on that base. The air grid is down. It's not going anywhere from there. And Team 1 satellite just kind of just picking apart Team 2's infrastructure and mass generation. And now the artillery is going to rain in on Grenadine himself. Oh, that's going to hurt T1 Bombers over the top, taking out the Megalith's health. One Fat Boy has been killed off. Will he get the second one? Yes, he will. Second Fat Boy is gone. Fat Boy, the crab dies at the last second. Artillery fire raining in around Janus now over the top. That's going to hurt. Just baking in holy hellfire. And he cannot get out of fire. He's stuck in the fire. There is some AA trying to deter those Janus, but still at 30,000, still kicking. We have some Harmages inbound. That's not going to stop Grandeed. Grandeed is still alive. He is not going to stop. He's going to keep going until he is officially killed. And Team 2's last remaining player is putting up a fight with his commander. Everything else just crumbling around him. His commander himself is still online. Again, 250 hit points with 50,000 base hit points is just devastating for Team 1 to chew through. Artillery fire raining in on a construction of a Monkylord. Still T1 Scorchers coming in. T1 Scorchers really just being spammed up, trying to kill that commander. Grenadier dodging decently well, though, and looks like he's just going to sit there and receive all the fire and be done with it. Nope, he's going to keep moving. Artillery still raining in around him, trying to dodge the best he can. I'm waiting for some artillery from Team 1 to knock out some of those bombers. Nope, not yet. And Grandy just wild. My foot's on fire. My foot's on fire. I gotta keep moving. My foot's on fire. Oh, will he kill? Nope, there he goes. Team 1 finally gets the kill on him, and that is game. Team 1 wins the game with 4 players left. Grandeed put up a great fight at the end, and that was a great performance here in this game. Team 2's Looker did a great job taking out 2 comms early on. Put a lot of pressure down the middle, but just couldn't sustain it long enough to force Team 1 to either just retreat or be killed off. Team 2's Cyber player of Bo was able to push all the way back to Team 1's Khalif's main base, but defenses were online too strong, and it really didn't matter. Oh, look, that emissary did finish. Look at that. Team 1 was building a Maver back there because why not? But it's just... You know, I felt like Team 2 would have won that game. I just think the eastern side was ignored, and it allowed a lot of stuff to be built up in the interim. 2 chickens punching through that, taking out some of the air grid, taking out the comm of Liam. That's got to hurt. It's just that eastern side was Team 2's weak point, and Team 1's Prima exploited it, and I think for that, even though he didn't contribute a lot to the middle of the map, he definitely contributed to the overall victory. So I think Prima deserves MVP of this game. Let me know down in the comments how you felt about that. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me with my quality of my content. Hopefully this one turned out very well. I will double, triple, and quadruple check after I upload it to make sure it runs very well. Again, thank you so much for watching. Again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see all of you in the next one.